Hello guys, welcome to my channel. There's something powerful that happens in a single hug, not just any hug. Second that lingers for half a second longer than it should. The kind that makes her breath hitch, her mind replay it later that night, and her body remember it days after it's over. Second of hug that doesn't just touch her skin, but leaves an impression on her soul. You see, most men hug without thought, they rush it. They pull away too soon. Or worse, they hug like a wet-a-well, lifeless, forgettable, and weak. But a highly value a man who understands female psychology, knows the fake hug is not just a moment of contact. It's a message, a subtle whisper of confidence, of strength, of grounded masculine presence. A properly delivered hug says, I see you, I feel you. And I didn't need to say a word to make you feel safe in my energy. Even if she's taken, even if she's guarded, even if she doesn't say a thing, you can still leave a deep mark, a silent storm, and hear emotional memory because women don't remember everything you say, but they never forget how you made them feel, especially during moments of physical closeness, especially during a hug. Now, here's the problem. Most men lost this opportunity. They go in limp or too aggressive or just robotic, so them passes and nothing changes. But when you use this subtle trick, this hug secret I'm about to show you, she will feel something she wasn't expecting. A rush of comfort, mystery, intrigue. It activates a part of her nervous system that starts associating you with safety, arousal, and curiosity all at once. She may not know why, but she starts thinking about you randomly, missing that feeling, craving that moment again. This works on women who already like you. It works even better on women who are unsure about you. And it especially works on women who are taken but secretly looking for something deeper, something real. Now let's be clear that this is not manipulation, this is presence. It's awareness. It's how you use your masculine stillness to activate her feminine longing. You're not doing anything overt. You're not crossing boundaries. You're simply showing her a version of masculinity she forgot existed. And that is how you stay unharmed. Let's break down the full strategy in the next section. There are a few rare moments in life when words become completely irrelevant, when time slows, when her breath softens, when the world gets quiet for a second and all she can feel is you, not your voice, not your compliments, not even your touch in the obvious sense, but your presence. And one of the most underrated places where that presence can silently flood her system is in a hug. Not a sexual moment, not a pick-up line, not a clever joke or witty text, just a hug, but not just any hug. Second of hug that gets stored in her subconscious like a scent she can't forget. The kind that disrupts her emotional rhythm. The kind that makes her ask herself questions she didn't want to ask. Why did that feel so different? Why did I feel safe and seen and just a little bit turned on? Why me thinking about that hug when I should be focused on someone else? And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most men will never know how to give that kind of hug because most men hug the way they shake hands with politeness, not power. They don't understand what's happening beneath the surface. They don't understand the energetic exchange that happens in that brief moment. And Sathi missed the golden opportunity to create a silent emotional ripple, a that echoes inside her long after the embrace ends. Let's be brutally honest here. A lot of guys think that to make a woman think about them, they need to be flashy. They need to impress her with money, status, muscles, or game. But women are far more complex and far more subtle than that. They don't crave attention. They crave a connection. And that connection doesn't come from talking. It doesn't come from treeing. It doesn't even come from touching the right places. It comes from how she feels in your presence, especially in the quiet, intimate seconds where your bodies are close, your hearts are beating near each other, and there's no noise to distract her from what she feels. And that's exactly where this hug trick comes in. It's not about grabbing her. It's not about seducing her. It's not about being aggressive. It's about showing her through stillness, awareness, and masculine depth that you're the kind of man who knows how to slow the world down. That she doesn't have to perform, that she doesn't have to pretend that her nervous system can take a breath around you, even if she's taken, even if she's unsure, even if she's hiding behind a polite smile. This isn't about trying to steal a woman away. It's not about disrespect. It's about awakening something in her that she forgot existed. And once you awaken that onseo touch, that quiet, tender place in her emotional world, she won't just remember you. She feel drawn to you, curious about you, even haunted by you, all because you hugged her differently. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to do that step by step. Not in a cheesy pickup way, but in a stoic, grounded, deeply human way. A way fasteners both you and her, a way that sets you apart. Not just as a man who knows how to touch, but as a man who knows how to reach her. Let's dive in. Let's begin with something every high-value mank knows, but few dare to apply. A woman doesn't remember the hug itself. She remembers how the hug made her feel. If you can create a feeling during a simple embrace, a sense of grounded warmth, mystery, and calm masculine presence, she won't just remember the hug, she'll remember you. This isn't about seduction, it's about influence. It's about understanding how women store emotions, not logic. And that's what we'll unpack right now. How to use a hug as an emotional blueprint that makes her think about you long after you're gone. 1. The Stoic Hug Principle. Calm power when you hug a woman. Especially yon who's taking your posture, energy, and presence speak louder than your words. A low-value man hugs with nervous excitement. He's thinking of both physical contact, maybe, even hoping for more. But a stoic man, he hugs with calm power. He's present, not pushy. He's not trying to get something from her. He's simply being radiating grounded masculine energy. And Fatalonia is magnetic. When you exude this calm power, she feels it in her nervous system. It slows her heart rate. It triggers oxytocin release. And most importantly, it confuses her expectations. She's used to hugs being forgettable or overly eager. But this presence, it lingers. 2. Timing the release, then expected anchor. Most people hug too quickly, a brief contact, and pull away. But what happens when you pause just a heartbeat longer than expected? Not too long, not awkward, but intentional. That split second communicates something primal. I'm not afraid of closeness. I'm in control of myself. I'm choosing this moment. That extra second rewires how she perceives you. It's not about clinging or dominating. It's about anchoring. You leave a mark. Not with force, but with intention. That small pause is like an underline on a sentence. It makes her mind replay them again and again because it stood out. 3. The subtle scent hack, a psychological trigger. Here's a trick very few men know. Olfactory memory. The memory tied to smell is the strongest and most emotional form of memory in humans. If you want her to subconsciously think about you, invest in a subtle but memorable scent, something clean, masculine, note-overpering. Now, combine that with a calm, grounded hug and starts building a link between that scent and that feeling. Next time she smells anything similar, even faintly, she feel you in the background of her thoughts. That's how light-level men leave. An imprint, not with flashy behavior, but with invisible influence. 4. The chest-to-cheek contact. A deep psychological trick. When you hug, angles lightly so her cheek lightly brushes your chest, especially your heart area. Why? Because physical proximity to the heart, even symbolically communicates emotional safety. Women are wired to respond to subtle signals of protectiveness and presence. That 1-second contact at the heart level tells your nervous system. This man is safe, warm, confident. Even if she's in a relationship, that moment will carve asmo emotional doorway in her mind. And if you've done everything else right, she walk through it mentally over and over again. 5. Your breathing controls. Hers. Ever notice how people mirror body language? The same happens with breathing. If you slow your breathing down deep and steady during the hug, she unconscious limmer that rhythm. And when you control a woman's breath, even for a second, you become unforgettable. Why? Because that moment becomes a physiological anchor. She may not understand it logically, but emotionally she felt calmer, safer, more feminine, more connected, and all off that came from you. 6. Don't talk. Let silence do the work. The biggest mistake men make during a hug is talking. Nervous chatter kills energy. Silence, when used with confidence, becomes power. When you say nothing, but you're fully present, it forces her to feel. And women remember feelings, not facts. Let the hug end in silence. A soft exhale, a grounded smile, eye contact, then walk away slowly. You don't need her validation. You don't need her reaction. Your presence alone, Wasano. That's how you become unforgettable. 7. Make it rare, not repetitive. Mystery only works if there's space. If you're constantly giving her access to your energy, hugs become routine. But if you make them rare and always layer it with intention, then each one become a mystery, a memory, a craving. So don't always hug. Don't always be available. Instead, let her miss the feeling of your presence. That contrast is what creates psychological gravity. 8. Practice the one-hand hold-back technique. Here's a subtle move. As yelling a hug place, your hand lightly on her upper arm or back just for a split second, like a soft hold back. It's not a grip. It's not forceful. It's a signal, a subtle gesture that says, "I noticed you." It shows intentionality and it adds texture to the memory again. She may not know what just happened, but she'll feel it. And later, when she's alone, her mind will wander back. Thatcho high-value men stay on a woman's mind not by pursuing, but by leaving emotional fingerprints. 9. Read the situation, then break the pattern. Every woman expects a hug to follow a script. Break that script subtly. Maybe hold her hand for a moment before the hug. Maybe look into her eyes with stillness before leaning in. These tiny breaks from routine make the hug feel cinematic instead of ordinary. It's not about seducing her away from someone else. It's about reminding her of something real, something rare, something her current situation might not give her. Presence, masculinity, calm energy. 10. Aftermath. Walk away like a stoic. Don't linger. Don't wait for approval. After you've hugged her with intention, silence, and grounded energy, walk away like a man who has nothing to prove. That final act seals the impression. She watch ya walk away and feel something she can't explain. That's when she start to think, who was that? What just happened? Why do I feel this way? And that's when she think about you along into the night and again the next time you see her. If this video made something click inside you, if you felt even, for a moment that quiet power stirring, that shift from being passivato becoming intentional with how you move, how you touch, how you show up, then brother, you're not watching just another video. You're waking up. And now the question becomes, what are you going to do with that awareness? Because the hug, that simple moment we all take for granted, is a portal. It's a chance to leave an imprint to show her something most men never even realize they're allowed. To offer presence, grounded energy, restraint, power without force. And here's the brutal truth. 99% of guys will forget this the next time she leans in for a hug. They'll freeze up, they'll overthink, or they'll try to be slick and end up coming off needy, awkward, or forgettable. But you, if you do this right, you won't just hug her. You'll shift her nervous system. You'll become the safest danger she's ever felt. And she'll think about you long after she walks away, even if she goes home to someone else. So, if you're ready to stop being just another nice guy women forget the second you walk away, and instead become the rare kind of man she feels in her body long after you're gone, then don't just watch videos. Train. Sharpen your energy. Learn the emotional language women feel beneath words, and that's what this channel is about. Every video here is a weapon, Allison, a mirror, and a guide. So here's what you do next. White heavy check mark. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for you. For the version of you that refuses to be average anymore, white heavy check mark. Turn on the notification bell. Because I'm not here to entertain. I'm here to train men to think differently, speak differently, and carry themselves like the rare king's world is starving for. White heavy check mark and comment below. I won't be forgotten. If you really absorb today's lesson, if you're ready to leave your imprint not just on her but on this world, let me know you're part of this rare tribe. This is Stoic Self, where wed and chase we attract by mastering ourselves. Where silence is louder than sweet talk, where restraint is more seductive than bravado, and where a simple hug done right can haunt her dreams. Thanks for watching. Now Gopli. What you learned. And remember, the right man doesn't beg to be remembered. He's impossible to forget, stoic self.